The story starts in 1790 when Thomas Saint's sewing machine was patented for working with leather and canvas. It used an awl to make a hole, then a needle carried the thread through it. The machine was never commercially produced, but it was one of the first serious attempts to mechanize sewing. Then came 1830 when Barthélemy Thimonnier's chain stitch machine made sewing much more practical. Its hooked needle pulled loops of thread through the fabric to make a chain stitch. Thimonnier built about 80 machines and used them to make French military uniforms. But the chain stitch could unravel when the thread broke, so in 1846, Elias Howe's lockstitch machine introduced a stronger idea. Its eye-pointed needle carried one thread, while a shuttle carried a second thread underneath. The two threads locked together inside the fabric. By 1851, Isaac Singer's Treadle machine made sewing easier to operate. Instead of turning a hand crank, the user pressed a foot pedal connected to the machine's wheel by a belt. Your feet powered the machine, while both hands guided the fabric. During the 1850s to 1890s, Treadle machines became the classic home sewing machines. They had heavy cast-iron frames, large wheels, leather belts, and wooden cabinets. Most were built for reliable straight stitching. At the same time, factories needed something faster and more specialized. By the late 1800s, machines such as the Singer 3115 were being used for industrial straight stitching. Other industrial machines were built for leather, canvas, carpets, and heavy materials. Some even changed shape for the job. Cylinder bed machines, for example, had a narrow, round sewing bed that made curved pieces easier to sew. Then came the early 1900s, and electricity changed the machine again. Electric motors began replacing the treadle, so the machine could run continuously without the operator pumping a pedal. Now, manufacturers could make sewing machines faster, easier to control, and much more complex. In 1931, the Singer 20U appeared as a versatile zigzag machine. It could make straight and zigzag stitches and became widely used for sewing, repairs, and decorative work. The side-to-side needle movement opened up stitches that a straight stitch machine could not make. In 1936, the Singer 143W1 was introduced as an industrial zigzag machine. It was designed for jobs such as lingerie and fine overseaming, showing how zigzag sewing was developing in factories as well as homes.
By the 1950s, machines were becoming more automatic. The Singer 206 could make straight and zigzag stitches and use built-in mechanisms to produce different stitch patterns. Instead of changing the machine itself, the operator could select different settings. In 1955, the Brother pace setter pushed decorative sewing further. It used built-in patterns and controls that allowed the machine to produce multiple decorative stitch designs without relying on separate attachments. Then another machine type became important, the Overlock machine, better known today as the serger. Unlike a basic lock-stitch machine, a serger uses several threads and loopers to wrap the fabric edge. Many models also trim the edge with a built-in knife while sewing. This made machines such as the Juki MO54E and later home sergers especially useful for garment construction and knit fabrics. The next specialist was the coverstitch machine. Machines such as the Yamada FY2500 were designed to create the stretchy parallel row stitching commonly found on t-shirt hems and sportswear. Unlike a normal lock stitch, the cover stitch uses needles above the fabric and a looper underneath. During the 1980s and 1990s, computerized control reached consumer machines. The Pfaff Creative 1471, introduced in 1989, was an early computerized sewing and embroidery machine. It could store and control stitch patterns electronically instead of relying only on mechanical cams. Then embroidery became its own major category. Machines such as the Brother PE100, released in the 1990s, brought computerized embroidery into the home. Instead of manually guiding every decorative stitch, the machine could move the hoop automatically according to a stored design. The 2000s and 2010s brought combination machines, such as the Brother SE400, combining normal sewing with computerized embroidery. Touchscreens, automatic thread threading, built-in thread cutting, and digital pattern storage became common features. By 2026, sewing machines have become a whole
family of specialized types. The Janome HD3000 represents the modern mechanical sewing machine, using physical controls for basic sewing. The Juki MO654DE represents the home serger, built around fast edge finishing. The Janome Cover Pro 2000 CP represents the cover stitch machine, designed mainly for professional-looking stretch hems. Then there are modern embroidery machines, such as the Brother PE900, and combination machines such as the Brother SE2000, which can switch between regular sewing and computerized embroidery. At the high end, modern machines can add large touchscreens, automatic thread threading, digital design transfer, embroidery editing, sensors, and guided sewing functions. So, after more than 2 centuries, the sewing machine has gone from Thomas Saint's 1790 mechanical experiment to a huge range of machines in 2026, each type created because someone wanted to make one part of sewing faster, easier, stronger, or more automatic.